Hey everyone, Xeno back here for some more Mega Man 3 Game Boy. Back for Dive Man and probably the rest of the game, considering that the end game shouldn't take that long. This should be another 3-parter. Unfortunately, this patched ROM, as cool as it is a bit unstable, and if left alone for long enough, it crashes. So I don't have any E-tanks, so we'll see how this goes. I do have Dive Man's weakness, so this shouldn't be that bad. I find it interesting that the colorized version chose to make these areas like orangey red. Like, this kind of looks like something that would theoretically hurt you. Let's switch to a different weapon. Hold on. Let's try drill. Oh, no, bad. Okay. Little mini Moby is pissing me off here. Please die. Thank you. Being forced to make the leap of faith over the spikes. This stage has a shit ton of spikes in it for some reason. It's just littered with them. The original Dive Man did not have even close to this many. Yet another example of this game having weird obsession with kind of forced difficulty in a sense. There's no reason for half of this screen to be spikes, really. I also really don't like how it feels like you have little control over how high Mega Man goes when you jump sometimes. Like, it feels like he goes a lot higher than he really should with how long you tap. Kind of, the physics are sort of universally a little wonky in these Mega Man Game Boy games, but this one compared to the first two, it definitely feels better. Like, the first one it feels kind of slippery, and the second one, mostly the same. Definitely a bit better, but still a little odd. And this one feels pretty much fine. We're just gonna start using whatever weapons we have at our disposal. Okay, nice. I didn't expect to actually be able to dodge that. It's kind of annoying how you can only have one of these on screen at a time. Okay, did not succeed in dodging that. Okay. It feels like those Mobies have a lot of health. Also, if you jumped too high and moved too fast onto the screen, you're probably dead. Just trying to lightly get over the lip of the platform here. Oh, nice health. Okay, nice. Probably would have preferred the E-tank, but let's just move on. Oh, okay. Nice to see that we still get the rising tide portion of the stage here. Interesting color chosen for the sky. It's kind of strange, muddled, like purple. Yeah, I don't know. I maybe would have made it blue. Is this supposed to be indoors or something? Actually, maybe it is supposed to be indoors. This stage, kind of like Skullman's, has a slightly different aesthetic, like mostly being in this kind of marine facility-looking place, as opposed to the outside of like a water treatment plant or something, maybe? Okay. I was gonna have a lot of complaints if I died there. I don't know why these things take so long to explode after they start flashing. It's a little disorienting. God dang it. Okay, another just bizarre... So many bizarre spike placements in this stage. It just feels like somebody had a bag of them and they were littered about. Either way, that's Dive Main stage. Not terribly eventful. Should be able to clear him pretty fast. Actually, wait. Let's be a little conservative just in case this goes badly. Oh boy. Oh, I'm actually skirting the missiles surprisingly well. Okay, wait. Oh, awesome. Okay, great. Get out of here. What do we got? Dive missile. Yeah, no Rush Marine in this game. Not that it would have really helped in that many places. I don't think this stage was much situated to make use of it anyways. Alright, we got another mid-stage here. Pull out Spark Shock and get to work. I believe we have another Giant Susie fight. Or actually, no? I guess there's only one. Alright, instead we get introduced to this game's Mega Man killer, this red guy named Punk. He's pretty cool. And Mega Man willingly goes down to fight him for some reason. Not sure why he wouldn't just focus on Wily instead, but that's fine. Oh, actually, wait. This might suck with no E-tanks, now that I think about it. It might be kind of rough. Okay, wait. Let's see if we can make this work. So Punk's pretty simple. He just kind of throws these projectiles. He does a lot of damage, and sometimes the way he curls up and spins at you is can be a little weird. Also, his okay, yeah, see that was not correctly aligned at all. Sometimes he just snaps up. It's most jarring when he goes up, but just kind of yeah. I think he can kill you in 3 hits, but it's not particularly difficult. Just try to avoid having your projectiles deflected, and then that's it. Unfortunately, as with most of the content from the first 2 games, I feel like there's not a proper introduction to this guy in-game. Just kind of shows up, and then you kill him immediately. Same problem that Anchor and Quinn had, really. I guess you really have to read the manual if you're interested in knowing about the lore. Which is unfortunate, but, you know, that's fine, I suppose. And then we get our Wily Castle stage. I believe there's only one. It's fairly lengthy though, so I like the visual appearance of this stage. I'm pretty sure it's colorized similarly to the way it was presented in Mega Man 10, which is nice. Kata 24 is pretty annoying. Nice to have. Okay. That's extremely fair. Yeah, really great enemy placement there. See, this game just sometimes does stuff like that. I don't know what the devs were thinking with that one. What would be useful here? Let's just buster this thing. These platforms that I don't really like. Oh. Okay. And then this overly specific Rush Jet segment. I think I'm properly aligned. You really have to work kind of hard to kill these parachute things in time if you want to avoid them. Oh boy. Let's not do that. I'm pretty sure that if you get stuck on the underside of the spikes, that you just instantly die. Like Mega Man just stands up and you die instantly. And you know that's always fun to experience. These ladder things make a return. I feel like the only other time they were actually used was in Snake Man stage, which is kind of bizarre. Maybe there was one in one of the Mega Man 4 stages that I neglected to observe. Yeah, climbing up this definitely isn't annoying at all. Imagine falling down. Definitely has happened to a few people. I do think this game has a pretty alright endgame. Okay, I thought that was going to mess me up. I was going to be really annoyed. The whole pausing while energy refilling is also another like very common nitpick I have. I always, if you give me the option to disable it, I always will, just because it doesn't disrupt my momentum. Can't tell you how many times I've probably died from getting a pickup and then just not responding to the next thing correctly. Okay, looks like Dust Crusher is actually pretty effective against most of these enemies as well. Okay, another, like, well, Reverse Crusher in this case, I guess, segment. Okay, I don't think I saw any spikes here. Could be wrong. Ah, okay. Move. What? Huh? Okay, alright. I feel cheated getting crushed by this part here. This does not look like it should be able to hit you. But that's fine. Oh nice, the Mecha Heroes came back. Platform. That wasn't that bad. I really don't like those platforms though. This stage has just about every enemy type in this game actually. Pretty cool. It's a good wrap up to just revisit everything. Oh nice, E-Tank. Well, at least if I have to replay this stage, I'll be able to get a second one, I suppose. Hopefully I don't die again. Oh, okay. We're actually completely set then. Yeah, not too much in terms of unique commentary to say about this ending stage, to be honest. Without the proper, like, plot development and really explanation of what kind of fortress we're in, it's just yet another castle that Wily has somewhere. Good design overall, though. I do appreciate most of these rooms. I feel like, besides the use of shield attackers, which has been consistently kind of crap in this game, it's pretty well strung together. I think that's it, actually. Giant Susie? Okay, yeah. I knew there was a second one of these, I just didn't know where it was. Still weak to Spark Shock, and there's not another use for it, so... Yeah, I really did not use Spark Shock terribly often in this game at all. Let me out. Okay, yeah, this stage actually does keep going. Dang it, still managed to get hit. Oh, there's a Mega Man 2 med, actually. That's kind of funny. I didn't realize that would be there. That might be the only one in the game, actually. That might be an Easter egg. That's cool. Yeah, I forget how much more stage we actually have to play, but this one's a bit of a lengthy one. Please face the other way. Oh, okay, wait, that was a Mega Man 1 met. Yeah, okay, that's cool that they brought back the other types, actually. I didn't remember that was a thing, but I like little callbacks like that. That's pretty cool. Please die, okay. Whoa. Okay. I'm not sure why that burst into so many pieces, but okay. Alright, yeah, this is the end. Little transition downwards. Actually, what? I forget what the first phase of this boss is weak to. The second phase is always weak to the killer weapon, as I discussed before. So the pattern for this thing is fire 2 rockets and then jump to the other side of the screen. Pretty much all you have to do is stand about where I'm standing, like roughly like a tile off of the edge, and then just move back and forth and it'll be over before you know it. I like how the robot cringes when you shoot it. That's a nice touch. Once you get the first health bar down, switch to Punk's weapon. And then just wait for this in-game cutscene to be finished. So this Wily machine is kind of interesting. It's only vulnerable to the Screw Crusher, and you have to stand surprisingly close to it to actually get a hit off. You really have to stand like just close enough that you're not physically touching the machine, and then the shots reflecting the Screw Crusher is also really annoying. But without that, there probably wouldn't be any challenge to this part, so I guess that's valid. Yeah, you just kind of have to weave in and out. I think the cannons are desynced, which is kind of interesting. Or maybe it's just based on how fast the projectile falls off the screen, and that's why it's different. Not sure. I would really appreciate being able to hit him. So damn annoying. And that's it. Oh, a little seizure? Okay, ouch. Ouch. Yeah, that's Mega Man 3 Game Boy. A pretty cool, yet uneventful little game. Is this the one? Oh, okay, no. Every exit animation Wily has in these games is kind of interesting in its own way. I was wondering if this is the one where he has the grappling backpack, but I think that's 4. Either way, The castle goes down. Wily vows to come back for another spat at some point. Oh, I guess he died again. I guess the nuke in the second game wasn't enough. Wily always meets really violent fates in these Game Boy games for some reason. Kind of funny, actually. But yeah, that's it. A cute little game. A relic of an era where portable gaming was a lot more important. But I'm sure any kid that had this would have loved to be able to play a little snippet of Mega Man 3 and 4 on the go. Like I said before, the Game Boy games mostly continue iterating and improving on themselves, and I would definitely call this an improvement over 2. The actually decent audio, not the ear-screeching drivel that they programmed into the second game. Everything about the boss patterns and the general game design is pretty nice. I would say this is probably the most traditional of the 5 Game Boy games, actually. The first 2 have weird, wonky systems for like the second 4 Robot Masters. Like they just kind of appear in teleporters, which feels like hacky and just it feels amateur. Funnily enough. In this game, both sets get proper level selects, which is very similar to like the classic formula. Like you could theoretically have all 8 of them at once. Then Mega Man 4 Game Boy is mostly the same. I'll talk more about that then, but it's a little less traditional in the way it's handled. But this one is very much just a classic pared down experience front to back. Run through 8 stages and then beat a couple wily ones as intermissions and you're out. It's definitely fun to run through. I would say there are some hang-ups with the game design in some areas like Dustman Stage, which is very obnoxiously designed in my opinion, and too long. Diveman Stage also has some questionable choices, just feels like they got bored and threw spikes all over the place. But I would still call the game design strong overall, just has these few blemishes that are actually pretty easy to look past because the game as a whole is of good quality. It's fun. The weapons are good. They match up with their counterparts in the NES games. And everything here is accounted for what they chose to present. I think they made good choices as far as gimmicks and stage designs go. Definitely a fun romp. Not one I would call a must-play either, although we're definitely getting more past the lukewarm territory by this point in the series. Where it's like 1 and 2, I really don't feel like there's a whole lot of necessity to playing them. I could see myself recommending this one to somebody that just wants to get their hands on more Mega Man because it is a unique experience at the end of the day. Running through a little bit of 3's content, a little bit of 4's content in one game. I think that was a good decision that they honestly made with this series, is just making it so that you have a reason to play them over the NES counterparts because you get a little bit of both. But yeah, not a must-play, but definitely check this one out if you're a fan. If you're watching this, I assume you're probably a pretty big fan, to be honest. Nobody would really make their way an hour through a series of videos unless they were interested in some capacity. So you, the viewer that is listening right now, I would encourage you to check it out, because why not? It's likely I'll be continuing this series and playing 4 Game Boy next. I know I promised a few other projects that I haven't gotten to yet, like some fan games. Rock and Roll I want to play. There's honestly quite a big handful of games that I've been meaning to play for this channel that just... I'm definitely back into it now more than I was before, but, you know, life is busy. I am busy. But I do plan on continuing with the rest of the Game Boy's games, and then maybe we'll see from there. Who knows? I never make any strict or fast promises on this channel for a good reason, but, you know, I'm sure those who feel like tuning in will be around when it does come time to cover those particular games. Man, this credit sequence always takes forever in every single one of these games. Oh, well, awesome, okay. So, remember I was telling you that this ROM is kind of unstable? Yeah, if you don't put any inputs for a few minutes, that happens. Okay, well, this kind of sucks as an ending. The only thing we missed was the thanks for playing screen, but thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy this white screen. This is Xeno signing off. Until the next series. Bye-bye.